All right, Mike Rossi, 6 through 1, least likely to most likely to win the Money in the Bank for the women. Number 6, who do you got?
I'd say least likely would be Zoe Stark.
I have her a little higher. Zoe Stark qualified last Monday on Raw, defeating Dakota Kai and Ivy Nile. Out of those 3 women, is she the correct competitor for this match?
I think she is. I don't really trust Dakota in a ladder match. It would have been kind of cool to see Ivy get the spot just because she's going to probably get a little mini push with the Gable stuff coming out of Money in the
Yeah.
Bank. But it's probably going to get muddied up by the Wyatt 6 anyway. So maybe we're better off keeping her out of it. You're going to notice that my bottom 3 are all the Raw girls because I kind of feel like SmackDown's a hunch to win this. But yeah, Zoe, I think Zoe's got enough in-ring to her that she can kind of help keep this together because it could fall off the tracks pretty easy. So having the vet presence in there, I think is good, but I just don't see them ever really pushing her, you know?
Yeah, I'm probably on the same tier as you with Zoe Starks. I'm just a little bit higher on that tier of like preferring her over other girls and opposed to 6. All right, 5th, who do you got?
5th, I'm going to say Io. I just, again, back to my 3 Raw girls being last. She won it last year. I don't feel like her story of her going crazy is going to fit her winning this match. She could actually have been 6 on this list, but I think she's a 5.
Yeah, she was actually 6th for me. She qualified by defeating Zelina and Kiana James. Is she still the right girl for this match? She's the biggest star, probably.
Yeah, it probably helps the star power in the match. And she's got experience in it too, which if you look at this list, Naomi and Zoe were the only other 2 that do when you've got 3 newbies. So you probably want to have a nice seasoned vet in there. And Io's as good as it comes in ring, you know.
Yeah, she's probably the glue for this match and the glue from the star power aspect too.
Would have been
All right.
cool to see Kiana get the
Yeah,
spot, but that would be like taking Zoe out, you know. So I think that is the better move.
I like Kiana. I think she's decent in ring, decent character, but her presence a little bit stronger than the character in the in ring right now. So she kind of just got to get up to speed with all that. And I don't know. I think she'll be all right in the future. All right, number 4. Who's your 4th likely winner?
4th was Lyra again because of Raw.
Yeah.
I think that she's on paper. She kind of looks like a sexy pick here if you're not looking at the 2 girls on the right side of this poster, right? But I just don't see her winning this because I don't see how anybody should really fit into the real Liv dynamic with the briefcase right now.
Yep, and I had Lyra 4th as well. Just kind of, she seems like in a holding pattern, but she always seems like there's like future equity in her, and putting her in this match is probably building to that. She qualified by beating Shayna and Kairi Sane, 2 veterans. So I think that was more of her shine and more of the shine of her being in the match than her winning the match.
Yeah, and I think they've done a really good job with her since she's come up to Raw. I didn't really see it with her at NXT. I thought her title run was kind of dull, despite her getting pushed by the Becky win. But they've done a really good job, and they've kind of won me over with her since she's been up on the main.
Yeah, that's a great point with the parallels between Raw and NXT. I agree with that sentiment. All right, number 3. Who is the most likely 3rd competitor for you?
Number 3, we're going to switch over to SmackDown with the last 3, and it'll be Naomi, number 3. A lot of experience in the Money in the Banks and just overall WWE in general. So I think she's a good anchor to have in this match next to Io to kind of piece everything together. But I just don't see them going with her at this point.
Yep. Now, she qualified by beating Indy Hartwell and Blair Davenport. I wanted Blair in this match. I thought it would have done some good for her.
I agree. I mean, it seems like she's kind of feuding with Naomi. So maybe Blair even takes her out during the match, and that's kind of something cute that they do. But yeah, they definitely got to get Blair a little bit of shine. So I would have liked it, but I understand why they went with Naomi.
For sure. Now, just play a little catch up on my side of the things. I had Naomi 5th. I just don't see it at all. I think that maybe there's like, she gets it and they have like a friendship with Bailey that she overhangs it, but I don't think heel is a direction from her. I just think she's a placeholder babyface, and like you said, she's kind of in this for some star power and some veteran aspect. And number 3 for me is actually Zoe. I think it could be a breakout moment from her. I just don't think that it's ready yet. So she'll be my pick for the Raw girls, but I don't know. I feel like there's something there, and Money in the Bank would help her. I just don't know if she's ready for it or they're ready for that.
I agree.
But this is definitely the bottom tier of the winners. Mike, there's two girls left. Who is number two most likely to win this for you?
I'm going to change my mind off the original thought. I am going with the betting favorite at number two with Tiffany Stratton.
Oh,
I just, we're going to talk about Chelsea at number one in a few seconds here, but I just feel like Tiff's been not on the back burner, but she hasn't been pushed quite as aggressively the last couple months as she was, like going back to Elimination Chamber and like her first post Rumble run. I think that she's someone that I have high on the totem pole of being the potential 2025 Royal Rumble winner.
okay.
So I'm going to defer to Tiff being number two here.
Yep, I have Chelsea number two just because it's a little bit more realistic to make the case for Tiffany. My heart's with Chelsea, of course, but I'm going to go Chelsea number two just from the realism of it. Now, Chelsea defeated Bianca Belair in Michin to get in this match, of course, pinning Michin, but still signature win. And if they were to go with her, having her defeat Belair in a match to qualify would add credibility. Where you think of her winning this a month ago, it would be unrealistic because she really lacks the credibility. But that's the story of her winning the briefcase. So I dig it.
I think that pop that she got when she won that thing was enough to tell them, hey, maybe we should give her the run. But what really is giving me the thought is I feel like Triple H is somebody that likes to give people their local shine. And this show's in Toronto. She is from Vancouver, but Canada always kind of loops itself into one area when it comes to WWE, right? So I think that going her here, and I look at Bayley and Nia as the title match at SummerSlam, right? I don't see Nia winning the title, but I do see her, maybe like crushing Bayley after the win. After Bayley wins. And then at that point, who's the best person to come strolling down at SummerSlam with that briefcase in Chelsea? It works for Tiff too, but I think that with how over Chelsea has become, I think if you're popping that crowd at SummerSlam, that's the best way to do it.
Yeah, and the overness is so organic, really, since arriving to the WWE after getting released or whatever, and Triple H bringing her back 18 months ago, whatever. It's just been, she's constantly on TV. She constantly delivers whatever role it is, and she's really not a terrible wrestler. I think there's way more juice with her as world champion right now than with Bayley, unfortunately, for all you Bayley fans out there. And it doesn't have to be a long run, but the establishment of beating Belair, the establishment of winning the Money in the Bank, but the establishment of the pop in her home country, like you said, is like a three-pronged factor to make her a star. And I'm for it. But I got her too, just because number one, you got Chelsea. Number one, I got Tiffany. It's just a little bit more realistic. I think she has way more upside than Chelsea to withstand up top. But like you said, I agree that it can always wait. But that friendship with Nia just felt so accelerated, not really accelerated, but felt so present, let's say, so to speak, that it seems like you said, we have her at SummerSlam, maybe defeating Bayley in a cash in, and then you have Nia being like, well, what just happened here? And then, there's a shakeup at top. I think that's just, again, I keep saying a little bit more realistic than Chelsea, but my heart's with you with Chelsea with one.
They're both awesome options. I don't think that I'm not leaving the show upset about either one of those winning. And I'll be honest, I think if we're ranking the top six, it's 1 and 2 and nothing else really matters. Mix up 3 through 6. Mix up 3 through 6 any way you want. It just doesn't make sense.
If you had to pick one from 3 through 6, I'm going Zoe. Who are you going?
I'd go Naomi, and that's only because I think SmackDown's winning this, because I think Raw's winning the men,
Okay. Got you.
And
right,
overall,
Mike,
like I was saying earlier, like Rhea and Liv, you don't want a briefcase hopping in and muddying that.
Absolutely.
That's its own story. Leave the Raw girls alone. And then SmackDown, honestly, they need the juice because Bayley and Nia, Bayley's been fine. Like, she was good in her first couple defenses, but there's something missing there right now. I don't know if the character doesn't really work as much as a face. Like, you want to almost have wacky wobbly Bayley back because it would work better. But at the end of the day, this SmackDown scene is what needs to shake up. So it's got to be one of those three. I just can't see it being Naomi. So, yeah.
I hope, honestly, at the end, we're at the end here, and I hope they have the balls to go with Chelsea. I think it would be fucking awesome.
I do too. I think it would be just such an organically cool moment, especially in Toronto. And I'm hoping, and again, I like both. I love the idea of waiting on Tiff till Mania and having her win the Rumble. That's what I'm hoping for. But again, I'm not upset either way.
Now, if Chelsea were to win Money in the Bank and she failed, it doesn't matter, right?
No.
Because they've
And
never
even
had a
if she
woman
wins
fail.
it, right, even if she wins it, holds it till Berlin and drops it to somebody, whatever. I just think her having that moment just establishes her at such a higher level moving forward. And she can always be a threat to people. And it just adds credence to her character. She'd be super cocky even in defeat, you know?
Yeah, for sure. All right, Mike, this was fun as always, and I'll catch you on the next one.
Later, guys.